Hello folks, I haven't pressed my buttons. It is Thursday. I'm trying to think, have I filmed this week? I can't remember. It's been a really quiet week. It's been a week of resting. So it's voting day in Northern Ireland. Voting for, that radio never usually comes on there. Voting for or like local politicians. So, sorry, I'm just concentrating. So yeah, I'm wearing my dungarees today because the weather's a little bit better. I put a jumper on in case my mum wants to go out and it's breezy. The reason I'm telling you I'm wearing my dungarees is because of a news flash. It's got pockets. If you're female, you will be well aware of the fact that almost all our clothes don't have pockets. If you take a pair of women's jeans and a pair of men's jeans, the women's jeans generally have false pockets, so you can maybe fit a pound coin in it, that's it. But my dungarees have pockets. Joy and bliss, so I can put my phone in my pocket, don't have to put it in a bag. So yeah, I'm on my way down now to vote. I'll film if I can. It's dependent on who's about, because it's actually illegal to film in the voting booth, but we shall see. We shall see what happens. It's just in the next village that we used to live in. We live in a village called Cargan. I used to live in a village called Martinstown. There's 2 miles between the two. And they are 10 and 12 miles outside of the main town, which is Ballymena. So, there's the Sinn Féin candidate. He came to our front door. Darren had a chat with him. It's like, nah, we're not voting for Sinn Féin, folks. No. I vote for, you basically get to number your votes from 1 to maybe 5 in order of preference, or you can just choose one if you just want to choose one. I usually choose 2, possibly 3. I choose Alliance and SDLP. SDLP is like Labour, Social Democratic and Labour Party. Alliance is kind of like the Lib Dems, but not as wishy-washy on everything. Basically in Northern Ireland you have one main party that's really staunchly loyalist and one main party that's really staunchly nationalist, and people tend to just vote according to their identity, which doesn't work. We need to vote for somebody that's going to change things here. Alliance are one of the few parties that are not one way or the other, they're just concentrating on policies. SDLP are similar, but people would say they're more nationalist than loyalist, but they're not staunchly so. They're not like Sinn Féin or DUP would be. So Alliance, SDLP and the Green Party are the ones that get my vote. Independents, there aren't really any independents near here. There's a load of people coming to the funeral at the chapel there. Loads of people coming out in black suits. Yeah, don't like to see a funeral. Don't think anybody does. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to tell. My Darren on Sunday past called the district manager, who's now been put in charge of my mum's case. Darren says he didn't want that woman that done all the lying put in charge of it, so we've been given someone else called Coral. And on Sunday she says, right, I'll look into this for you tomorrow, but she says she's still getting no form of care. It's been 3 weeks now. And she did look into it, called us back on Monday, sort of late afternoon, and said the care plan's back in place. She's back using the steady that she was on to start with, that they've had in the house, that's been sat there for 3 weeks, that nobody will touch. They're back to that again, with a look at going to get an assessment for a hoist for morning and evening. So I don't know until I go in to see her now, I don't know what's happening in the morning and in the evening, but I do know in the interim, they're using the steady again. So that's something. But it's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks passed on last Sunday, so it'll be a month this Sunday. And I mean, my dad told the OT, you couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. He's really frustrated because I'm behind a tractor, that's why I'm crawling, folks. I get really irate about it. I know I live in the country and you have to expect it, but they don't have to pay road tax, but they're only supposed to go between farms. But I've been stuck behind a tractor for 12 miles from out here right into the town centre, and that's not between farms, I'm sorry. It's just really frustrating to travel up 20 mile an hour I'm doing, especially if you've somewhere to be at a certain time. So I'm in at my mum's today. I don't know whether we're going downtown to the library to renew our audiobooks, or if she's maybe just not up to going out. Just up this hill is where I do my voting, the little local parish centre. Right, he's voting as well in that BM. There's Alliance, we can fix the health service with a Sinn Féin above it. There's another Sinn Féin and another Sinn Féin. There, me, can you tell I live in a Catholic area, folks? Well, you're not getting my vote, Sinn Féin, I'm sorry to say. Right, there's obviously a few people here to vote, so I'll take you in if I can, guys. Right, that's that done, folks. Hopefully you managed to see. I just did I was the only one in there, and it was really, really quiet. And obviously you don't take very long to have to write in a few boxes. Where's that girl with that dog? Surprisingly, this year I'll have to look back at what I can't remember how many was on it, maybe 8 or 10. Every single one of them bar 2 were unionist. DUP, Ulster Unionist Party, Independent Unionist. There was the only 2 on it that weren't unionist was Alliance, which was my choice anyway. No SDLP, which was a bit crap. Alliance and Sinn Féin are the only 2 that weren't unionist. So I'm a bit disappointed there was no Green Party and no SDLP on there. So what can you do? I don't know why there wasn't. There has been every other year. Why is it all unionist parties out here? I mean, this is not a unionist area. It's not like a really bigoted area or anything, but it is mainly Catholics that live in this area. I'm really surprised that our representatives are mainly unionist. In the town centre it's definitely that way, which Ballymena, the city, the town, is like DUP stronghold. That's where their head office is. So it's very unionist there. But this little village isn't. So I'm quite surprised by that. But yeah, so I've done my voting, and that's it. So we'll see what happens. But in Northern Ireland, the situation, I don't know if I've explained this before. What the situation is that we have two main seats, first seat and second seat, because it must be a power sharing executive. So you know, like you had with in the UK, you had Conservatives needed Lib Dems in order to get Prime Minister, so they had a, what's that called? Like here it's called power sharing, it was called something else, I can't remember. Coalition. Well, here there must be power sharing, but there's first seat and second seat, and obviously first seat is the main one. And DUP historically have always had that seat, and Sinn Féin historically have always had second seat. Last election, Sinn Féin won and they got first seat. Before the election took place, DUP said, if Sinn Féin ever get first seat, we won't sit with them, which is strictly speaking breaking. You're not allowed to say that. I mean, it has to be power sharing. But they says, well, we won't pay second fiddle to them, and that's what happened. And then they've used all this stuff about the protocol and Brexit and backstop. It's been over a year now, and DUP have refused to sit, which means we have no sitting government of any description. No budget was spent. This year the budget's tiny, and get this, the 2 main places they're pulling cuts on is nursing positions and education. Health and education, which to me are the 2 most important things in the country. Example, you may disagree with this. There are pensioners that are rich, that are very affluent, I mean super rich, that get pensions. If you look at, and what I mean is a state pension, obviously if you've paid into a pension your whole life, you're entitled to get it, and you could argue if you've worked your whole life, you're entitled to get a state pension, but for me, benefits are for people that need them, that are struggling, and there are so many areas. There's even nurses having to use food banks because they're not being paid enough to be able to pay their bills and eat and heat. But yeah, you can have a pensioner that's a millionaire that still lifts a state pension, and I don't think that's right. I honestly think that all benefits should be means tested. That's just my viewpoint. Child benefit should be means tested. I think it is now, it didn't used to be. So why are people that are billionaires and millionaires receiving child benefit and pension? Don't make sense to me. That should be means tested. If you look at the amount of money like from the economy in the UK that's given out in benefits, because people keep going on about benefit scroungers, most of it's in pensions, and when I say most of it, I mean almost all of it is in pensions. When you take the percentages, people are living longer. It used to be the pension age was 60 or 65, and people really, when they got to that age, going back to when I was a kid, if you lived into your 70s, they would say, oh, he's had a good innings, meaning you've lived a long life. Now, if you die in your 70s, your early 70s, people think you've died really young. People are living into their 90s, and the pension age remains at 65. I think they've put it up a little bit now, it's 60, maybe it's getting closer to 70, I can't remember, but that's only changed relatively recently. But how did I get started talking about this? Yeah, so this year, DUP still aren't sitting. I'll guarantee you, they say it's because of the protocol, I will guarantee you if in these elections DUP come out with first seat, then they will go back, and that will mean it's nothing to do with the protocol, which we all know it isn't, but you know what I mean. But if they do get first seat, I will be astounded, because why would you vote for someone that hasn't sat in Parliament for a year and has, the country has just gone to shit, you know, financially, because they won't sit with Sinn Féin because they don't want to be second fiddle, which is just ridiculous. So we shall see what happens, but I really hope they don't get in first, because it says an awful lot about the mentality of voters in this country if they do, and how many bigots we actually have. I would rejoice if Alliance or SDLP got in. It would just be like a breath of fresh air. Change the rhetoric, change this, you know, change this DUP Sinn Féin thing, give us a different party. You know, they can't make any worse a flipping job than it's been done. But the cuts this year are astronomical. I don't know if that's overall in the UK, but in Northern Ireland it's crazy. They had these schemes in education called shared education, which Isaac did at primary school. It's basically, they have these education days where children from both denominations, Catholic and Protestant, get together for education, for shared activity to promote cross-community. It's not a lot of money that goes into it, but that's all been cut. It's been going on since the 80s. They've cut that. Apparently in the past, now I don't know if this is the mainland or here, they're cutting nursing, like trainee nurse positions. It's like, what we need more of is nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals. And half the ones we had who were willing to work really hard for really low wages, which is disgusting, weren't British or Irish. They were from other countries. But because of Brexit, you've sent all these people away that were doing the low-paid, hard jobs, and now you don't have enough people to fill them. My mum's care company, loads of people, you know, they just, if you see how hard those guys work, those people that come in, you know, carer positions in residential homes or carer positions that go into people's homes, they work so hard. They get given a list of people they need to go to, and they don't get to go home until that list is finished, and they can be working from 6 o'clock in the morning and regularly through to 10 o'clock at night, and they can't like say, oh right, it's 6 o'clock home time. That's not how it works, and they're paid peanuts, and it's disgusting, and then they wonder why they don't have enough of them. There were loads of like carers from like the Philippines, from like Romania, from Poland, and they were doing the job for the lower wages, but now they're all gone because Brexit. Oh dear, don't get me started. The thing is, Darren's the one that's really into politics, and his Facebook it's like, stop it. Stop posting about bloody politics, royals, Prince Andrew and the fucking coronation, for Christ's sake. I'm sure people think it's not. The situation in this country and people being screwed over annoys me. So you'll get a bit of waffle about that now and again. But overall, politics just doesn't interest me. That's contradictory. I do care about what's happening in the country financially and morally and ethically, but I'm not one of these people that wants to sit and have a big long conversation about politics. Hope that makes sense. Hope you know what I mean. So I'm almost in town, having waffled the entire bloody way again. I should change the name of this channel to Lisa Waffles. You know what? I think I'll do that. Lisa Waffles. That's what it's going to be called. But then again, no, I'm just thinking about blue waffles now, and maybe I don't want the word waffles in my... Yeah. Don't Google blue waffle, Isaac. Don't Google blue waffle. That's all I'm saying to you. Right, and as I'm ready to sign off, guess what I'm approaching in the right now? A roundabout. Discovered that every time I am finished waffling, I'm either at this roundabout or the next one, which has just got those lovely... You'll not see it, and I can't turn your ring curtain enough. There's a fence here which has got absolutely beautiful blooms on it. I can't remember what they're called, growing all down the fence. And when we moved into our house, we had those. Darren cut them back and cut them at the root, and they haven't grown back, so they're dead. Gutted, because they were beautiful. Right, I'll sign off, guys. I shall check in with you later, probably when I'm waiting for Isaac outside Warhammer, and let you know what's going on. Speak to you later, guys. Just let's have the last line. I know who you are, and I know you are loved. Right, okay. I don't like to stop a song in the middle. I'm weird like that. So I'm outside Isaac's school. My dungarees, guys. Outside Isaac's school, waiting for him. Been to my mum's. We took her downtown. I managed to get a little present that I needed to get for a little girl's birthday, which is next week. I got 4 t-shirts for Isaac for Christmas from Primark. I got a Flash one, a Doctor Strange one, a not Kyle. Wish it had been Kyle from South Park. Is he called Tommy? No, he's not. The main one from South Park, but not Kyle, who's the best one from South Park, because he's got into South Park now. But he loves Kyle, as does everyone. Is Cartman called Kyle? Cartman. Anyway, the one that goes, respect my authority. He likes that one, which is the one I like. And what was the other t-shirt? Got him 4, and I don't remember what. They're really bright. Like the Flash is bright red with like a rubberized symbol. The Doctor Strange is bright orange, and it's got like a comic book style sort of print. The South Park one's just a really bright blue with a big image of the character. Deadpool was the other one, and it's bright red with a big Deadpool in front. I also got, which I'm keeping them for Christmas, I got a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World top and shorts that match. They're really nice, that I'll give to him now, and he can like bring it to Florida with us when we go. And then I remembered that I'm going to need to buy, like, when you've got a kid that's growing, you have to buy everything, replace every year, because last year's won't fit. So I'll need to get him a new. When you're in Florida, you don't want to go swimming with just like shorts on. You know the like suits that you can get that covers your shoulders. They're like sun suits type thing that you swim in. So, and usually with boys they come in like a top and shorts. I need to get him new ones of those, and like new sets of shorts, and it's loads of t-shirts, so I don't need to. He's starting like his dad. Too many flicking t-shirts for my liking. What else? My mum got a biscuit tub and bits and bobs, loads of seed for birds. I got seed and fat balls for our birds because I'm feeling guilty that they have to wait until tomorrow night until I get into town. And then if I'm needed at Scouts tomorrow night, I won't be in town, so I can't have the birds not having some seed, and like garden birds, wild birds. I don't have birds. So yeah, just waiting on Isaac coming out. We're not going to get much revision done today because by the time he comes out, we get home. It's going to be 5 o'clock. and then he has to get changed and all that rigmarole. So yeah, we shall see. It's just started raining. It's been a really nice day actually, but it's like cooled right down now and it's raining. That humidity in the air that Ireland's known for, meaning that we've got really, really fantastic climate for growing stuff like, you know, nothing like tropical, but grass is always really good here, and flipping weeds. Honestly, the height weeds grow to. But it's just the perfect, like, damp and sort of like muggy and humid, but it's just not very pleasant to be out in. So yeah, that's what's happening today. Nothing planned for this evening. Tomorrow is Friday, so that'll either be going into town to see my mum, buy a few bits in the evening that I need, or it'll be going to Scouts. They're building go-karts tomorrow night, so I thought they might have needed help for that, but they haven't asked yet, so we shall see. Saturday, I don't know what's happening. I know Fast and Furious is out, and I know Isaac wants to see it, and it's only a 12A. I've never seen any of the movies, and I don't know if this is something you can just go into with no knowledge. We'll see. It's not something I think we can bring one of his mates to, because I honestly don't think that any of them have the attention span to watch that. And sometimes when you bring certain ones of them, they just play up the entire bloody time you're there. So we'll see. I'm not too sure. So yeah, I'll go. Nothing else to tell you. And I shall check in with you tomorrow over the weekend at some stage. So see you later, guys.
You're alright, Chuck. Oh, sorry, talk.
I look like my granny. See, when my hair's back, I look like.
You're pretty though. You got a lovely little face.
Not the one that you knew. My mum's mum. She died when I was 18. So it's Scouts time. Friday evening. Isaac's in there and is. Show me your badges, Isaac.
Which ones?
Just both arms, Isaac. So that's his activity badges. There's 3 rows of 3, and the other arm is like his Scout trip badges. There's a big space there because, remind them tonight, Isaac, you should be getting your new patrol badge and you should be getting your patrol leader badge. Isaac is now patrol leader. He's bringing back his old shirt because it's a bit small on him, so he's in a bigger shirt
Yeah,
now.
I'm just gonna say I don't want this anymore, Jacob.
Does that shirt fit all right, Isaac? I never even looked at it. And you've buttoned it up correctly?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
The amount of revision. Let me just tell you this if I can get it out before we get up to call for Robert and Kayla. I'll update you on something about that tomorrow. The kids have been given a revision timetable telling them what they need to revise each day for how long, so that everything's covered, like little bits and pieces from each subject. That was 3 weeks ago. Their exams they've 1 week left, then it's their exams. Today, and in the last couple of days, subjects are giving them revision workout books to fully complete start to end. Me and Isaac have been following the revision plan that he was given, making notes, taking hours making notes and everything, and then they give out all the revision guides with all the notes nicely written for the kids. A week before the exam.
And you've already done that work that you've now got to do again because it's not in their book.
And we have to do it again. And just say, Isaac, they're alright, they've got a few minutes. All the kids that never made any effort of any description get all this handed to them a week before. How are you supposed to study for something? Another thing is that they haven't covered in class. There's certain subjects that they haven't done yet, and they've only really covered some of those things this week. But they're supposed to have been revising stuff for the last, like, 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know what they're doing. So they're not giving out the revision guides until the week before. Or sorry, they give out the revision guides a month before, telling you what to revise. Not all the stuff's covered that you have to revise. And then with a week to go, they give out these big, you know, like basically like blank exams. And they've told the kid they have to fill it all in. And when you've already done hours of notes, well, it's not Isaac that's done it, but anyway.
Yeah, but then there's all the work that haven't even done in school.
And hours of notes. And now they've given all those notes, and I print it a big... This is sod's law. If I don't print something out, they won't give it out in class. If I do print something out, they will send it home with them. So I did print out the revision guide, which was massive. They came home with it the same day. They sent a revision guide for RE, which as far as I'm concerned is a waste of time. And I'll have to switch this off because they're coming. And yeah, Robert's in his uniform, so he's going tonight. Oh, sod.
Don't know, because he's sprinting. Never mind.
Forgot even what I was saying, so I will switch it off. I'll speak to you later. Here comes Darren with a big pot.
Big pot for a
Wait,
pot plant.
what are you gonna put in that?
What's done?
I thought the muck, is the muck not out the back? Have you moved the mud through to the front?
No, I'll take it through now.
Darren's replanting a wee tree for me.
But I need to know where you went before I fill it up, so what I left it in.
Look at them 3 balls. Just seeing the part of the cement there, just at the end. So we cap. Yeah, like that.
Oh, they've done.
That's my lavender.
Bumblebee, don't be scared, will you?
Well, there's a bumble on it. Some more lavender. And some more. You get the idea that I like lavender. My little trees are starting to get some leaves on. Them ones haven't done too well. I want it like a hedgy bush there. The hanging baskets are just starting to flower. You can see the little hole there where that tree used to be. See the lilandii are like growing out really wide, so it's dwarfing it. Now that little tree in the corner, it looks like I need to, you know what, I could do with taking that down too. What's that? I missed that. I missed him hot footing up the hallway. That's no use. No use at all. Oh, that's what I was coming to get. That's my tree. It's an Acer. And the reason we're planting it is because it wasn't seeming to, it was been like...
You only had like an inch of soil.
Those like lilandii either side of it were just like completely dwarfing it. So I have a friend that's got one in a big pot. And I never thought it would grow. But this one that my friend's got is probably about 7 foot tall. And it's in a pot. So look at them balls. Honestly. And they're all crap as well. This is our little painted shells. And look at our weeds. Do you want me to hold the tree while you... There it is in its pot. That's where it was, in that space. So, yeah. Done. Done. It is Saturday evening. Bless you, Molly. Just won't let me see her now. I'm filming because Molly had her groom last week, and I don't think I showed you her groom, but she's determined on regging her face. I don't entirely know why.
Sunflower face, isn't it, Molly?
She's got an itchy face, I don't know. So look how shiny she is. She's had a nice groom. Hello? A good girl. Oh, no, that puts an end to that. We're not watching Britain's Got Talent. The end of it's on because I want to see the 1% Club. Dobby is under this cushion, which Molly is now sitting on. I'll video you because there's nothing else. Have you any comments?
No, I don't have anything to say.
It's Saturday evening, you nothing to say.
I wish I didn't have them bourbons. I've got
Darren
awful
sneaked 2 bourbons.
Snuffle them.
He cheated on his diet in the kitchen. I was having 2 biscuits. I says, do you want these 2 biscuits? There's 4 left. No, I've already had 2. I would have lied and said, yeah, I'll have them.
I snuck in the biscuit tin, disguised the sound with the kettle boiling, so nobody heard.
That's devious.
Yeah.
Look at that custard on the TV. I could eat a bit of that. Is that rhubarb?
Could make some custard.
That's not the same when you make it. It's so too thin. It's not like those stuff that is a bit Judas Priest.
I've got vanilla extract.
I want to go see Judas Priest. Oh look, you're all in the dark. Hang on. Oh no, it's a bit close. Oh, it goes really dark when I zoom out. That's half and half.
I look better in dark.
I wonder how much.
At the right distance and the right lighting out, like Johnny Depp.
Do you?
Huh?
How far away is that?
About half a mile in dark.
What's I gonna say? Well, how much did you say those tickets were for Judas Priest?
About 80 quid.
Sick. Is that with the 3 of them?
No, that's each.
No, I mean, is that Judas Priest, Uriah Heep and Saxon?
Yeah,
is that
it's in
tour?
Dublin as well.
Yeah, I want to see it, but it's too far away and it's too expensive. So for us 3 to go to that would be like $240 for the tickets, and then getting there, you're talking 300 quid if we drive there and back on the same day. And even though I want to see them, that's just not doable. It's not a doable thing. But yeah. Boo, hiss. Right, Molly has now settled herself. Sorry you can't see, we've got the light off. It's that fucking expensive, the electricity. No, we don't. I've got a lamp on. So Molly has settled herself on top of the red cushion, and Dobby is below the red cushion, which is on top of a blanket, which I've got over me. Molly, hello. Look at that lovely grin she's got. Her little face. Look how pretty she looks. It's a bit blurry because it's dark. What are you doing? Oh, did he not get you any barbecue bangers? Oh, but it's that time of night when we're having a coffee.
No, that's 10 o'clock is barbecue banger time, 9 o'clock.
Right, you'll have to wait an hour. I'm sorry.
If you let her have one now, she'll still want it at 10 o'clock.
Look, she's heard.
Coming now. Dobby, don't fall off, you stupid.
What have you heard? Have you recognised that I'm going to have to go get her one now?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, but look, I've got the blanket on me. Can you not go get her?
No, because if I do, they're still going to nag at 10 o'clock.
But look, now she knows.
Yeah, and they'll still nag at 10 o'clock.
Look,
Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
Go get them. Look. How could you look at their faces and not get them something? Look at that.
There's no
Tell
barbecue
them, Mama.
bangers left
Tell
anywhere.
them, Mama. No, but there's other ones.
What,
They're not
cheesy
barbecue bangers, something like that.
They're fighting. The dogs are fighting. Don't be so bloody vicious, you. She nearly caught a crow earlier.
Oh, she didn't.
It was about 8 feet above her head, but she...
Well, she shouldn't be
She
running
acted
after
like-
birds in the garden.
It swooped down, so she ran after it.
Right, they're asking nicely. They're saying, Daddy, get us something nice out of the
Oh, that's
kitchen.
nice,
Old
baby.
Town Road. What?
That's asking nicely.
There, you can see her groom better now.
Again yesterday.
There she is.
That old lady pulled up again yesterday.
Did she?
Wound the window down, and she did that squee thing. Oh! Hang on, how did she word it now? Oh, they're so lovely and noisy.
Yeah, they do nothing but bloody bark.
She should pull up at Silent Road.
They're always
Don't
barking.
bloody talk to me. Just wants to talk to the dogs. It's like that one that held the dog up the windscreen so it could see. Yes. So let her dog see you two.
Come on, leave it. They're
No.
waiting. Come on.
What?
Move your arse, she says. Move your
What,
arse.
barbecue banger. What about Christmas treat, Kim? It's full of secrets.
Oh, not the secrets. They need the secrets are too small. They need the other ones. They get 2 each.
Look at the size of it, it's like a balloon. Fighting. Stop fighting. They've had one, haven't they?
They've had one.
Yeah. Get down off my bloody phone.
No, I can't hand them on to Phil. Look at them little bones. They're only tiny.
They're cheesy chicken. Or chicken cheese. Something like that.
There, that's tasty. I don't know what's
She got
that
it stuck on a pallet.
be. Oh, bless her.
I'm a little window licker.
That's it, I'm sorry. They're all gone now. Now I'm going to have my coffee. Good girls. Hello guys, it's Sunday. It is no makeup scary day. You have to look at my face with no makeup because I can never be bothered. Have to get into my mum's pretty quickly from getting up and getting dressed. So sans makeup today, guys. I know there's a big difference. Just finishing off the vlog for the week. I will ask Isaac and Darren if they have anything they want to add because I have no more news. So Isaac, is there anything you want to add about this week to the vlog? Is there, you can just about see his red hood. So you have nothing. What about you?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
The only thing I will add is me and Darren have been behaving so well with food, and you're not getting anywhere either, are you? Or have you lost weight? Darren has the
putting it
ability
on.
to not weigh himself. I don't know how he does it.
I'm still putting it on.
I'm on the scales every flipping day. You're putting it on?
Yeah.
Right, I did a
But
bit
I'm
of reading.
exercising more.
Well, that could be muscle then. Did a bit of reading today because I'm like, in the first 2 weeks I lost nearly a stone, which is ridiculous. I've never lost. But in saying that, I had put on about 4 pounds from nowhere that made no sense. So I think it may have just been a certain time of the month which can fluctuate weight. So I've lost a stone since I started, but in the last 2.5 weeks, nearly 3 weeks actually, my weight has not shifted. I've done nothing different apart from I've started RockFit, and I do that, I've been trying to do that 4 days a week. Obviously I only started it a couple of weeks ago. I try to do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, because I don't do it on the day I go into my mum's, because that's a workout enough going up and down the street with that wheelchair. So, and it's like when I finish, Darren will tell you the state of me, it's not a pretty sight. My face is purple.
Of course it's a pretty sight.
The thing is, at the minute, our living room's really small and it's warm at the minute. So when you're puffing and panting, when you're not used to exercise and you're trying to do this thing and it's a warm enclosed room and you have to shut the door to keep the dogs out, I don't tend to sweat. I never really have.
Perspire.
Apart from, well, sweat. It's maybe not such a nice word, but there it is. But it's been shocking. I mean, I've had droplets running down my face.
Because the neighbours are not aware what you're doing, I've been on doorstep taking the accolade for it all.
So anyway, I couldn't understand this. So like, as an example of my diet on a day, in the morning I will have 2 tiny pieces of nimble wholemeal bread
Palm your hand size.
with a little bit of marmalade or a boiled egg. And that's like just breakfast and lunch, because I only have one, I don't have both. Look at how the hell's this? What's that? Why is that there like that?
Just coming in now.
For goodness sake, so they think they can close off an entire side of the road. That can't be allowed.
No, they do what they want.
They've put like a big thing on the road to close one side of the road off because their tractor's going to be coming in and out to make it easier for them. So that's breakfast / dinner, and in an evening the typical thing that we're both eating is chicken slices, which it's like this packet you get. Basically the calories that's in half the packet is 100 calories. So chicken just with broccoli and cauliflower, no potatoes, no rice, no pasta, none of that stuff, just vegetables. And then on an evening I'll have a cup of coffee and I'll have one little roll, 4 squares of dark chocolate, which equates to about 80 calories. So I've been eating approximately between 800 and 1,000, maybe 1,100 calories a day. Now apparently you shouldn't eat 1,000 or less because calorie deficit doesn't help. But after a bit of further reading today, what I found out is if you eat too little, your body deliberately slows down your metabolism to cope with it, meaning that your body pretty much keeps everything that you're eating. But if you eat too much, your body speeds up your metabolism to try to cope with it. So maybe I need to shove my feet like burgers and stuff. I don't know.
We could try it today. We can experiment with the Chinese.
See, I've little enough. No, now you've got him about Chinese. I've little enough willpower. Never mind Darren doing this to me.
I haven't got any.
Darren told me yesterday that he sneaked biscuits by boiling the kettle so that there was noise and nobody heard him going in the biscuits.
I had 2 bourbons. I shouldn't even eat biscuits anyway because I've got glue in it. It was painful walking past that cupboard. It was like, oh God, bourbon. So I was boiling the kettle up and nobody heard. I got in and out of that tub, packet rustling, everything. No one knew anything. I felt really bad about it.
I'm sure you did.
I did, I had to tell you.
So the only reason you told me is because I offered you 2 biscuits. Do you want a couple of these biscuits? There's 4 left. We'll have 2 each.
But you thought I was being a martyr.
Then he told me. So I'm like, it's only 2 biscuits. I've already had 2. So anyway, I'm not understanding because I have a friend and his wife who were a lot heavier, and when they were going to Florida at the same time as us 4 years ago, they both dropped a ridiculous amount of weight, and I mean ridiculous. They were eating 500 calories a day.
They'd lose less than a shark attack.
So if your body slows down, if you eat too little, how come they lost so much weight? Or is it just sticking at it and eventually when your body adjusts, then you'll start losing weight? I don't know. But it's really annoying to be so good with food and to be walking past chocolates and sweets and biscuits and to not be eating my big things, pasta. I love cheese. Okay, I've had a tiny little bit of grated cheese last night.
Something nothing.
But I love cheese and we haven't had like really cheesy stuff, we haven't had pasta, haven't had potatoes, even had rice, and nothing's happening. Nearly 3 weeks worth of being at exactly the same weight, and I don't understand what's happening. I mean, I'm going to say this, please don't take, this is an awful thing to say, but I'm going to say this. When people are put in concentration camps, they don't stay normal because they're not eating enough. You know what I mean? Their metabolism didn't slow down. You know what I mean? I know that's a horrible reference, but then doctors say to you, it's simple, if you eat less than you expend, whatever the word is, you will lose weight. Well, I'm eating less than I'm expending and I'm not losing weight. Why not?
The Auschwitz plan.
No, we're not making a joke about it now. I'm just trying to say, if you don't get fed enough, you will lose weight. So I don't understand this thing about metabolism. So yeah, if you have any ideas, guys, drop them in the comments, because I have no idea what's happening with me at all. It's such a struggle. It always has been a real struggle for me to lose weight since I've been mid-20s. As a teenager, skinny. But I was so physically active, it's ridiculous. Unless my metabolism is just used to being so massively physically accurate, you know, doing loads, and then all of a sudden when I stopped doing loads, then just the weight started piling on. I don't know. So it's become a fixation now because I can't understand it, and I don't like not understanding stuff. Which is why I get so frustrated when Isaac's doing his physics revision. I don't like it. It brings me right back to physics in school. I hated it. They're doing about circuits and magnetism and friction, and my brain just wants to shut down when it reads it because it's so monumentally boring. Just cannot be doing with it. It's the same with chemistry. What's the fly in the car? I'm exactly the same with that. Don't like that either. So, but I found out that apparently they have to take science to GCSE, but apparently when they're older it splits off into the 3. At the minute they just do science, so they do a little bit of each one. But if it splits off into 3, there's no way they can make kids do those 3 subjects for GCSE. That wouldn't be fair. What if you don't want to do, like I was saying to Darren, what if you're an arty person that wants to do drama and art and all that stuff? You don't want to be bogged down by like a science. Anyway, that's besides the point. When I done my GCSE, I dropped physics and chemistry immediately. I kept biology because I always found that interesting and relatively easy. But I went the way of like languages and English and all that sort of stuff. My mind's not very analytical. Right, I'm gonna go now. Well, that wasn't meant to go into that. It just does what it. I'm thinking of changing the name of my vlogging channel to Lisa Waffles. The only thing that put me off it was blue waffles.
Yeah. There were blue waffles.
So, yes, that's it. Thank you for watching. I shall catch up with you next week. What's coming up next week? I can't remember if the car's in next week to be. It's either next week or the week after. Isaac has his dentist appointment to have his tooth pulled on Tuesday, and they changed the bloody time of the appointment, and Isaac's school is so pedantic. We need more information.
How long is it going to take?
When exactly is he leaving school? When exactly is he coming back? How are you supposed to tell a school what time exactly you'll be back after a dental appointment? I never have been to that dentist I've been taken on time in my life. Not that we can go to the dentist anymore because they're not seeing NHS patients. Well, so anyway, before I don't get started that all over again, but that's what's happening next week. Isaac's off on Friday, Andy's off on Monday. Can't do anything on Monday because I'm having my hair done. I didn't realise when I booked it because I booked it like 10 weeks ago, so I didn't know he was going to be off that day, or I would have booked the Tuesday. But maybe one of his friends will invite him to do something for a change. But their exams start the next day, so I very much doubt anybody that goes to his school will be doing much on the Monday, because their first test is on the Tuesday, and then all that week, all exams. So, yeah, we're doing nothing other than revise at the minute, so it's very boring. Oh, I'm on a stream next, well, a stream of sorts. I think it's, I can't remember if it's Saturday coming or the Saturday after, with DeRay and about 4 others. The only 2 I know is horror movies with Nick something about horror movies with Nick. He's nice. And D Movie Man. That's it. Thank you. Horror flicks with Nick and D Movie Man, and then 2 other people I don't know. And it's like a horror quiz, but it's only open to people in the America. And basically we all had to come up with 5 clues about 3 separate death scenes in movies. And Darren did a lot of mine for me because I'm not, again, that's something I'm not very good at. He's quite good at writing clues in a way that's...
I'm irrelevant. Don't look at me, I'm irrelevant.
Joe always says that. Is that Monty Python?
No, it's a Matchbox on the young ones.
Alright, well,
Don't look at me, I'm irrelevant.
he's always saying that, and I'm like, what the hell's that? I was talking about something else before that came up. It's gone. Yeah, the stream. So we had to come up with, well, seeing somebody's listening, we had to come up with 5 clues about 3 deaths. There's 3 Irish dancers. I'll not be able to pick that up. They're on their little outfits, so they must be in a competition. They're out this, you might see out this window. No. When I go a bit further forward, you might see. Oh well, I've gone back in the door, that's why you can't see.
I do that dance when I'm rushing to the bathroom and my hands are cold and I need to... It's like...
Don't make fun of Irish dancing.
You have to do that little dance.
So yes, 5 clues about 3 deaths, and they have to be pretty hard getting to easier as we get near the end. I'll not tell you the ones I've picked in case any of you actually tune in. If Kelly and Shannon from Texas are watching this, you should tune in, because you would have quite a good chance, I'm sure, with your knowledge of horror movies, and it's only open to people in the US. So you could win yourself a nice, she like DeRay, Rainbow Fright. She puts together like a horror box. I think it's going to be like a horror box full of goodies, and whoever does best will win that horror box. So I don't know what time it'll be for you. I think she's mid something. Is it mid standard time? I can't remember. It's 7 o'clock PM for me, and it's 12 o'clock noon for her. So I don't know. That would probably fall mid afternoon for you guys, I would imagine, somewhere, or early afternoon. But yeah, you should tune in. Maybe win yourself a nice box of goodies. So we're almost at my mum's, and I've talked rubbish the whole way in, as usual. We've got Isaac's maths revision in a bag. I can't wait I'm sure Isaac can't wait till these exams are over either. Ow! If you wonder why every time I drive up to my mum's there's a lot of jerking about, that sounded wrong. There is sleeping policemen. I don't know. Road humps, whatever they're called in different parts. Of sleeping policemen, they call them in the UK. Because they're lying down in the road and they're making you go slower, so they're like policemen that are lying down. Right, they'll get out of the car and then I'll park it against the bush as usual. I shall check in with you guys next week. Over and out. I'm Kit, Alcaboodle, or Lisa Waffles.